Hi, I'm Joey. Welcome back to the Quarantine Cook. Tonight, we're gonna use these ingredients and the ones right over here, and we're gonna make candied yams. For this dish, we got a multitude of different sweet potatoes, brown sugar, butter, pecans, and walnuts, marshmallows, a little bit of kosher salt, and we also have the stuff in my little shopping cart here. I have some pineapple, a little bit of nutmeg, and some cinnamon. It's gonna be amazing. First thing we're gonna do is peel our yams. Once we get all the sweet potatoes peeled, I'm gonna boil them for a few minutes just to tenderize them, and then we'll put them in a trusty dish here, and we're gonna bake it in the oven with the pineapple, the brown sugar, the nuts. And then lastly, we'll add the marshmallows to them, and we're just gonna brown them lightly on the top and melt them a little bit on top of your candied yams. Let's get started. Now you see the main difference in the Japanese sweet potato versus the other ones. It looks like a regular potato on the inside. I'm gonna take my already preheated water, and you can just boil it on the stovetop. But I use my trusty jug here. Pour that in. Turn the burner on high, and we're gonna cut up our sweet potatoes and throw them in. Okay, with the sweet potatoes, I'm just gonna cut them into chunks. We're just gonna cook them for a few minutes just to tenderize them on the stovetop, and then we're gonna throw them into the baking dish. And these things can be a little tough too when cooked. And that's why I do it on the stovetop for a few minutes first. You just want big chunks like this. And we're just going to take a little bit of salt, throw into our water, and then go ahead and start throwing in our sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes into the water. These little pieces in with it too. A little extra can't hurt. Okay, we're going to turn the other burner on high, and we'll start getting my butter and brown sugar and the nuts. Make sure I'm going to cook the nuts a little bit in the brown sugar and butter. It has a really, really nice flavor. And then we're going to combine that with the yams once we get them into the casserole dish. All right, my butter's almost melted. And since the butter's almost melted, we're gonna turn this down because I'm still waiting for my sweet potatoes. Perfect. Just turn that on a low heat. We'll just spoon the brown sugar in. Caramelize. And we're going to chop up these nuts and throw them in as well. All right, so I'm just chopping the pecans and the walnuts up a little bit. I'm going to throw them right in here in the brown sugar and butter. of these. I'm going to throw just a handful of whole ones in as well. Saturated in the brown sugar and butter mixture. Put it down just a bit. And get ready to pour our yams into the dish with it. While my sweet potatoes are finishing up, I'm just going to grease the bottom of this pan with a little stick of butter. Just a little bit. Should be plenty. Okay, we're going to test these and see how soft they are. Oh yeah, that's perfect. I don't want them too soft just yet because they're going to bake in the oven. But we got to mash them down a little bit to go in with the nuts and the brown sugar. Okay, so we're going to turn our burners off. Make sure it's all off. Get the lid off of these because they're ready to go into the baking dish. And I'm using my slotted spoon. I'm just going to dip these out of here into the baking dish. Just like so. Smells great. Can't wait to get the brown sugar, pecans, and walnuts in. Okay, so move this over here. Oh, that looks great. Yeah, look at that. That's fantastic. Mash that together. Love the smell of brown sugar. Let's get our oven ready to go. I'm going to do 375. I'm going to cook that for about 35 to 40 minutes. It should be done. Okay, so I'm just mashing all this together. I'm going to throw in my pineapple and sprinkle some cinnamon and nutmeg in here as well. I like the look of the Japanese ones, the orange ones. It's a nice combo. All right. Oh, I love the smell of fresh nutmeg. It makes your kitchen smell nice too. All right, throw the lid on this. In our preheated oven, 375. And we're gonna cook it for about 35 to 40 minutes. The last 5 minutes, we'll take the dish back out. I'll put the marshmallows on, pop it back in, and cook it for another 5 minutes or so. Let the marshmallows melt and become a nice, slightly brown color on the top. All right, I'm gonna pull my sweet potatoes out. So over here, we're gonna put the marshmallows on, and then I'm gonna throw it back in for a few minutes. Ooh, look at that. Put the lid right there. Guess we're gonna cook it with the lid off now. All right, I'm just gonna let them brown a little bit more and pull them out. There we go. And here you have it, candied yams. All right, I'm gonna wait. I'm doing another episode on green beans, and we're gonna serve that with this. If you have any questions on either dish, please let us know. Until then, I'm Joey, the Quarantine Cook. We'll see you next time.